School leaders across the state are sounding the alarm over proposed cuts to public education. Some districts say to safely get kids back in the classroom, they need more money and not less. Adam Rakusin took these concerns to state leaders to get answers.
When you say that we have to do distance learning, you are preventing and withholding them from a proper education that they need.
It's not hard to understand parents' concerns. Beyond health and safety, education is king. And what used to be a pretty certain picture of how things will go is now anything but that. Budget cuts, distance learning, and a system in flux.
I feel like the budget needs to be worked out to put children first.
In an updated budget proposal, Governor Gavin Newsom announced significant hits to education. The biggest, a 10% reduction in the local control funding formula.
A 10% hit to the local control funding formula would be absolutely catastrophic.
Dr. Paul Gothold is the San Diego County Superintendent of Schools. He says in San Diego County, that 10% amounts to about a $500 million hit. Gothold believes districts are up to the challenge of getting kids back into the classroom, but needs state and federal officials to come through with funds to make it happen.
It's naive for us to think that we can do more and extend our school year, mitigate learning loss, all these things that we talk about, and at the same time taking a 10% cut, it doesn't line up.
This week, several of the largest school districts in the state sent this letter to several influential state Senate and Assembly members addressing the governor's May budget revision. The message summed up in this line: the notion that schools can continue to operate safely in the fall with a decreased state budget is not realistic. It's a statement that's echoed by the head of the California School Boards Association.
What messages is sending to our communities about the prioritization of education? We say education is critical to reopen the economy, yet we see education carrying the burden of the cuts.
For parents concerned about that revenue and what it's going to mean to their child's education, what do you tell them?
We're doing everything possible to, again, make sure that education remains a priority.
Assemblymember Phil Ting is the chairman of the Assembly Budget Committee. Right now, the committee is in the process of finalizing their budget proposal. They're looking at ways to ensure schools aren't penalized because kids may not be on campus due to COVID-19.
Well, I think what we're hoping to do is, at the very least, be able to keep school funding flat and hopefully have a slight increase in funding. I think the challenge is many school districts were hoping for a much bigger increase, and they have actually factored that into their budgets.
Adam Rakusin, KSBY News.
A stimulus package recently passed by the House would help fill the gap and lessen the blow to schools. We did reach out to the governor's office for a comment on districts' funding concerns and did not hear back.